Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this this right here is just 1 second. We're gonna close this door. So basically, this is about you know, uh, this is called you're trash, and the other guy is saying, but I'm winning, and a lot of people don't understand why they're trash. Like you call somebody trash, yet they're winning, and they're like confused, right? Because they're basing their wins they're relating their wins to them playing good. That's what they're doing. They feel as though because they're winning, then they must be playing good, and that's not necessarily the case. You right? Right? So first, let's just deal with why people are trash. There's a few reasons why people are trash. Right? One is just lack of practice. Is lack of actually knowing the character. And when I say actually knowing the character, I'm talking about spending that 48 hours in the training room, not going online, not doing anything, but really digging through the character moveset, really digging through the character framework, really digging through the character's damage, what they can do, what they can't do, understanding their range, their spacing, understanding their recovery frames, understanding how to connect their moves together. Like, and this takes time because you have to first understand the character in order to fight with the character. Especially if you're like most people, they get the character, they go to YouTube, they copy and paste somebody else's character, like which we have on the stream that I just did with a guy. He admitted to copying Super's reign, right? He copied and pasted Super's reign, and he pretty much just kept doing overheads over and over and over. Even when I was blocking overheads and punishing him, he couldn't do anything else because it's a copy and paste character. So he doesn't really have the intelligence or the knowledge of that character to go into different setups and move sets because he didn't do the practice with him, right? And in the heat of a battle, your brain it's called heuristics. Right, your brain is going to go to what it already knows in the heat of the moment, because those are your reflexes. They're heuristics. Like when you're driving home, like you can drive home, listen to music, do whatever you want to do, and not your brain is not really thinking about the route that you're taking because it's already built in to where it's going. And that's called heuristics. It's just a quick method to get the information. Like if your brain had to constantly calculate everything every day, you wouldn't be able to function. So your brain doesn't do that. Your brain creates immediate shortcuts, which we'll call also muscle memory, right? So people are trash because you'll have a person that'll do maybe two or three moves out of a character's move set. When they see that you're a strong fighter, they'll do two or three moves out of the character move set that they know work against that character, against your character, and that's all they'll do, right? And even if you win, like I'm still gonna call you trash because what did you do? Especially if we playing a mirror match. I'm playing Quan Chi, you're playing Quan Chi, and I'm out here doing resets. I'm doing his setups that nobody else doing. I'm hitting you with a 70% reset. I got you guessing wrong, and I'm just resetting you, beating you up, doing everything I want to do to you. Like, come on, I'm rushing you down with bad buttons. Like, come on. Uh, Spamming. People don't understand what spamming is. Like if you do a move consecutively, back to back to back to back. You keep doing that same move with no gaps of any other move in between, like nothing else. You're spamming. Like, and if that's what you got to do to win, you're trash. Spacing, especially if you're playing a game that's based off rushdown. Like this, the cameo system and everything is based off to turn the game into a rushdown game. That's how come the cameos make you safe, so that way you can apply pressure. But if you're spacing in a rushdown game, like against a character like Quan Chi who has full screen moves. I have full screen moves. That means that if you're on the upside of the screen, I can still hit. See, we have a quit. You see, because they just can't deal with it. So when you're facing a character full, why would you be full screen on a character that has full screen moves? I can jump on top of you. I can kick you from the back. Like I got frost. I can send a slide to the bottom. So you being full screen on me is bad. You should be taking advantage that I have bad buttons. Like my standing one is 8 frames. My down one is 9 frames to negative. You should be taking advantage of that. And the only way to take advantage of that is by being up close to me. It's the only way. Uh, And I spoke about rush down. Like that's what this game is based off now. It's about rushing you down, applying pressure, keeping your character safe with the cameos, and giving somebody a fight. It is not about. Oh, that's the background. Oh man, that's weird. Sorry about this. It's just doubling on the background on the sides right here because this is a Twitch stream I already did, so that's why you see it like twice and doubled. I apologize for that, but um, what does trash play do to the actual game? Okay, so now if you go on YouTube and you listen to like True Underdog Gaming, like I listen to him a lot. If you listen to Uncaged Gaming, if you listen to Super, if you listen to who else? The real MK Brady, the real MK Tom Brady. If you listen to them, they tell you a lot about why Mortal Kombat's going bad, and most of it is around microtransactions, missing content from the start of the game, a lot of bugs and stuff that's in the game, a lot of stuff that's like just unbalanced with the hierarchy of the characters that people can't deal with. Like you have certain characters that have crumbles and other characters don't have crumbles, and like what are you gonna do? You got Liu Kang who can grab you, put you into a crumble state, take Kung Lao, transport to the other side, and hit you with a combo off of a grab. And Quan Chi does not have that. He can't crumble you and do that to you. So it's like you put other characters on platforms and other characters can't like have nothing to respond to that. Like what you gonna do? You only going to avoid grabs, but so much, especially in the heat of a fight. Somebody hit you with the low boom and then go into a grab. Like it's hard for your brain to react to that all the time. You might catch a couple of them, maybe one or two, but all the time you're not going to catch it. He's going to get that combo off, right? And what is this doing? So one, when you got these type of players in the game, it gets boring really quick. Why? Because they are going to pick the easiest character that's going to give them the easiest win. So if Kung Lao and Liu Kang gives me the easiest, quickest win, that's what I'm going to pick. And if I got to keep low hatting you and hitting you with 3 kicks for the whole match to get that win, that's what they're going to do. And that becomes born for 90 seconds. To see low hat, low hat, low hat, low hat, Kung Lao, low hat, 3 kicks, 3 kicks, 3 kicks for 90 seconds becomes very boring. Also, if I fight a Liu Kang and then the next match is another Liu Kang with the same cameo. Then after that, it's another Liu Kang probably with Serena. Or then after that, it's another Johnny Cage with this. Or then after that, there's a smoke with Kung Lao. Or then after that, like that's what makes it boring because you keep seeing the same characters back to back. It's not like you're getting different characters in between there. No, you're getting the same characters back to back all the time. So one, it makes them easier to fight against because you fight against them so much. But two, it's just boring because you keep seeing the same stuff the same way, right? I don't see any mixes with Johnny Cage. I see the same combo, the same way, with the same setup. Like I told the guy on stream today, it's the same stuff, the same way, with the same setup. You're playing Rain exactly like Sonic Fox played Rain. You're doing the same setups. You're doing the same ground portal. You're doing the same sky projectiles. You're doing it exactly the same way with no variations. So when Rain is your character and you took Rain to the training room and you figured out some things with Rain, I'm going to see a totally different Rain than what Sonic Fox is putting together because Sonic Fox put that Rain together. You understand? Out of your personality and the way you fight, you went into the training room and put your Rain together. So I'm going to see something totally different. It's not going to be the exact same. Certain moves, yeah, because it is a fighting game. Certain moves are going to blend, but your character in itself, the personality and the voice that your character have is going to be different than the personality and voice that Sonic Fox character have. And we see this in literature. We see this in writing. Like everybody has a different voice in writing. I can write the same thing you wrote, but because it's coming from my own personality, it's going to sound and be different to the reader you know? And that's what people don't understand about fighting games. You take a character that's based out of your personality of who you are. Like people think that video games are separate from who you are, and they absolutely are not. You choose people based on your personality, based on the way you like to fight. That's how you choose your characters, right? So if you choose a cheesy character, that's a part of your personality. That's you know that's a part of your personality. If you like to get easy wins, that's your personality. So if you cut corners in a fighting game, most likely you cut corners in life. And that's just the truth. Okay, what else is this doing? Tournaments. Nobody's like none of the top players are really doing any of the tournaments on the game because nobody's really watching the game. Because who wants to see Raiden do Cellstorm 100 times? Like who wants to see that? Cellstorm, Kano Ball. This Kano Ball. Sweeps, Kano Ball. Cellstorm, Kano Ball. Cellstorm, Kano Ball. Who wants to watch that? Like who wants to play against that? Who wants to keep losing tournaments against that? And people are not understanding this at all, and that's why this game is doing bad. Like I don't know why that curse is right there, but okay. Um, what else? Um, let me go to the private side. That's bothering me. So so the online scene is all messed up with the tournaments. Like people not they just not want to watch. They just don't want to watch this game. Even if you go on Twitter and you look at Mortal Kombat, the average viewers for Mortal Kombat is two. Like because it's the way people are playing the game, and the players are the main reason why the game is doing bad, including everything else along with it, NRS, WB, microtransactions. But the main part is the gameplay. What sets MK11 apart from MK1 is that there's better players, there's better fighters, right? You get a better quality of fight in MK11 than you get in MK1. Mainly because one, there's no cameos. So if I'm playing against a Jade that wants to jump and spam projectiles, that's all I have to worry about is Jade. Like I don't have to worry about her spamming projectiles. Then she can bring Serena out and give out four more projectiles. Or two more projectiles, or bringing out Frost, or something. Like you don't have to worry about that in MK11. All you have to do is worry about Jade and her projectiles. Plus, you can get around it because there's no cameos, and you can punish Jade, and do what you need to do. So people stuck around long for MK11 because of the play of the players, not the gameplay. The players. When you got people pulling out Joker, doing all these tricks and setups, or you got people pulling out all these like Jax and all of that, and doing these setups, and the fight was just good. And that is the main difference between MK11 and MK1. It's the fighters, it's the players, right? People are going to find a way to cheese no matter what. And if you're going to give somebody the opportunity to have an extra person to cheese with, they going to use it, right? They going to use it. But at the same time, it's going to destroy your game because people are just going to get tired of seeing it, right? And that's why this game is in such a bad state because people are just not they're just done. This isn't Mortal Kombat. It's not gritty. It doesn't have that death, that deadly feel to it. It's injustice with a Mortal Kombat skin on it. That's all it is. That's how come you can bring in Omni Man and do all of that. You could bring in Homeland because it already has that hero built into it already, right? Where you could float in the air and do it. It already has all that, right? Because Injustice, so they just use the same stuff. It already has it. But if you think about from Mortal Kombat 1 to Mortal Kombat 3, that deadly feel to it, that seriousness it had, right? Then you go to we ain't going to talk about Mortal Kombat 4 because once again, that's NRS trying to be like somebody else. Then you go to Mortal Kombat 9, where they changed the proportions of the characters in it, and it was just more of a cartoon feel, right? That's interesting. Again, they trying to be like somebody else, right? Mortal Kombat 9 was an ugly game. The art was ugly. I just didn't like it. Then you go to MK10, where it was really combo heavy. If you messed up on the combos, you got punished, right? There was a huge gap between skill and trash in MKX, right? If you didn't go and train and practice on the combos in MKX, you got beat to death and there was nothing you could do about it. There was nothing you could do about it. That's how come MK11 came about. Because people were complaining that when they made a mistake on MKX, they was off the sticks for almost like 5 to 6 seconds because they're just getting punched by a super long combo, and people complained about that. So in MK11, they said, you know what, we're going to shorten the combo span so that way you can get back onto the sticks and be able to play. This is why MK11 was the way it was. This is why they slowed down the momentum in the gameplay because of MKX. Because the skill gap was so big, right? Because if you did not go and learn how to play with the character, you just got demolished in MKX. So MK11 stopped that, right? So now we come to MK1 where they're just trying to they're just helping you all around the board. They don't care whether you know a combo, like they're gonna give you help. This is why you got the cameo as an assist character. Mortal Kombat never had assist characters, but now there's assist characters, right? Because they're not catering to the Mortal Kombat community anymore. They're catering to people who don't play Mortal Kombat or don't like Mortal Kombat or don't know how to play Mortal Kombat. That's who they're catering to. That's the only way you're going to get more money. You got to cater to the people that's not playing your game, and the people that's not playing your game or playing games with assist characters, right? Dragon Ball Z, MVC, all those characters, like all those type of anime games, they all have assist characters, and that's what this game is catering to right now, because that's going to bring in more money, right? Hardcore Mortal Kombat players do not like assist characters. If there's anybody that's been playing Mortal Kombat for more than 10 years, you're not going to sit up here and tell me that you like this game with the assist characters in it, because this is not Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat had always been one on one. There's never been any help, right? That's the whole purpose of Mortal Kombat. You have to fight by yourself, win or lose, right? Um, let's do something else. Crying or complaining versus fact and truth. So when I'm talking to people and I'm calling them trash and I'm telling them about their characters, like if I'm playing Quan Chi against a Johnny Cage and I'm just saying the truth that, Johnny Cage has better buttons than me, I can't down poke myself out of stuff, it's hard for me to, do this and that because I'm playing with a character who starts off with 900 HP and like he just have a whole bunch of bad buttons and he's super negative. They want to say that's crying. Okay. The truth is the truth. It's not crying. It's the truth. The reason why you're gonna say it's crying because you know that you're playing a character who has my character at a handicap. So instead of you saying, yeah, you know what, you're right, this, that, and the third, and giving me credit for even being in the lobby with a character that's bad and still beating you up with him, you're gonna say I'm crying, right? But when in fact I'm just stating truth. Yeah, you're playing Johnny Cage. 6 frame low. Only person in the game who has a 6 frame low and a good 9 frame mid, right? Can mix you, punish you, with punish you, space you, and if he has the proper cameo, you just can't stop Johnny Cage. If you actually know what you're doing, you can't stop him, right? Especially not with Quan Chi. So when the Quan Chi beats up a Johnny Cage, it is well deserved because if I down one you, you can go into a full combo on me. Is negative 10 frames. Your mid is 9 frames. Come on, do the math. And they want to say, "Oh, you're crying." No, no, it's not crying. MK11. If you jumped over my head in MK11, that was an uppercut every freaking time. You jumped over my head, you get uppercutted because the turnaround system, the redirect system was so good, you couldn't do it. But on here, people jump over you all the time because the redirect system is bad. Only time the redirect system seems to really work is on wake up. Only time, but in game, if somebody jumps over your head, you cannot punch them with an uppercut. I've tried it. It's really hard to punch them with an uppercut, and it's really hard to punch them with the down one. Like it's hard. Um, well, what else? Um, so this is just somebody being honest. Like if I'm in rank with Quan Chi. Like you're really not going to see too many Quan Chis in rank, and when you do see the Quan Chi in rank, they're horrible, right? You're gonna run into Liu Kang's, you're gonna run into Johnny Cage's, you're gonna run into Ashura's. Let's talk about Ashura. So Ashura, most of her stuff is high, but you can't hit Ashura's sword, which gives her a whole bunch of range, right? So since you can't hit her sword, she could just keep poking in at you because you can't do nothing about it. You can't counter it, you can't touch it, you can't do nothing. So off the rip, she already has the advantage over almost all the cast because she fights with the sword. Rico has a staff that he doesn't fight with. But he has the staff, but he doesn't fight with it. He don't use it, right? So she has the sword that gives her absolute range, and you can't hit it. It's not an extension of her body. It just doesn't, you know. So when you got a character like that, like you could do a lot of crazy stuff. Now, her bad point is that you could just keep lowering her to death. But who wants to do that? Who wants to sit there and have to keep lowering this character to death? Keep lowering her and lowering her and lowering her, and then you got to deal with her overhead that she can enhance it to another move, then go into another move. Like it's a lot, and then you got overheads that don't look like overheads. Like the game is all over the place. You understand what I'm saying? So when you call somebody trash because of the way they're playing with the character, but they say, "Oh, but I'm winning," okay, that don't mean anything. Yeah, you're winning because you're playing like trash. Like if you was actually trying to like actually do all the moves, all the setups, and like actually go into something, you might not be winning because now the character becomes more difficult. There's always two versions of a character. You got the trash way of using the character, then you got the more enhanced way of using the character. That's how come when like people look at the tier list they try to take the tier list for a grain of salt, but that tier list is for like if you're going to play the difficult way with a character. Like there's a way to play difficult with Johnny Cage, and there's a way to just be cheese with Johnny Cage. Like he has a lot of frame stuff that you could do with him, but a lot of people don't do that because that makes Johnny Cage difficult. Understand? I play Reiko. You could play cheese Reiko where you just want to spam projectiles and try to keep spamming the overhead, or you can play the difficult style of Reiko when you're just focusing on his frame traps and his frame data, going into his down three, then stepping forward, going into the 1-2, and then like trying to mix people with his frame data, trying to frame trap people. That's the more difficult version of Reiko. And people don't understand the difference. Like any character could be a cheese character. Quan Chi could be a cheese character. I can sit back, pull out the portal, throw all the projectiles, keep trying to back kick you, do all that. Then I can play the more difficult version of Quan Chi when I'm actually trying to get close to you and trying to open you up, give you setups, frame trap you, mix you, put you in the watch machine so I can get the overhead. Like that's the more difficult version of Quan Chi, and people don't do that, right? So yes, I can call you trash, even though you're winning. I can still call you trash because of the way you're playing with the character. Like, and this is what's hurting Mortal Kombat One. Is the way people are playing with the characters, the way people are super reliant on the cameos, and it's just not fun to watch. People like to watch me because I fight. I fight. Like if you look at my streams, I fight. Like I come in with Quan Chi and I beat people up. I put them in recess and I make people say, "Whoa!" Right? Whoa! When you see your life bar just getting chipped away because you guessed wrong. Whoa! When you're getting hit with mixes that you don't see people doing. Whoa! Like I get friend requests just because of the way I play with Quan Chi. I got one today on stream. Yeah, I get a friend request for that. Like, yo, I like your Quan Chi, man. I make people want to play with the character because I show the potential the character has. I'm not just going to sit back, open up the portal, and keep hitting you with projectiles, then try to stomp on your head. I don't need to do that because I took the character to the training room so I wouldn't be trash with him. I took him to the training room and I learned everything I could about this character, and I'm still learning. I still take him to the practice room to see, am I missing any damage? Is there anything else that I can do? Is there anything else I can do with Frost? Well, I went to the practice room not too long ago and tried Sub Zero. The reason why I don't like Sub Zero is because he comes out too quick. So if I try to do my normal setup with Sub Zero, I won't be able to get the cage because since Sub Zero comes out so quick, he catches the person too high up, right? And I need the person to be down a little bit so they can fall into the cage, and that's what Frost does perfectly. Now I could do a different combo and catch that with Sub Zero, but the combo has really small windows, and like online with the lag, you're going to drop it. You're just going to drop it, and people don't understand that. Like when you're training in the practice room and when you go online, two different areas, right? So what you catching in the practice room, you might not catch online because of the frame drop. So I'm not going to sit up here and try to do a super tight combo with tight windows online because you're going to keep dropping it and you might get punished. So you never do that. You go for KISS, keep it simple, stupid. I'm going for a no brainer or no fail, right? If I can catch it in here, I want to make sure that I can constantly, consistently catch that combo online, and that comes from practice and knowing, right? This is why you can't call me trash. Like, yeah, I play around a lot. I'll play a couple fights serious, but then I'll play around with you because at the end of the day, it means nothing. It absolutely means nothing. I absolutely get nothing for it. I don't get paid. I'm not getting any sponsors. So yeah, I'll play you serious, maybe two fights, beat you up, run through you. Then I'll play around with you because it doesn't matter either way, you know. But at the end of the day, when you look through my total videos, when you look at all my fights, I am consistently rushing people down, beating people up, going in. I'm doing negative moves because for what? Why not? Like, then what was the point of me going to the practice room for an hour, for 2 hours, for 2 days? What was the point, right? You're not gonna know what you can do until you go online and just do it. Like if I sit there and try to stay safe with Quan Chi, then like where how am I gonna know what I can do and what I can't do? Because I'm just not doing it, right? But I know what I can and can't do with Quan Chi against people because I just do it, whether it's negative or not. And then I figure out how to convert. Like here, that's a frost reset. Look at this damage. Look at this damage. Come on, that was a frost reset. After I already did 200 something damage to this guy. So like the proof is in the pudding, man. Like but I felt as though I need to make this video because people don't understand that you can still be trash even if you're winning, because the trash comes from the way you're playing with the character at the moment, right? If I hit you with a 70% reset, then you decide to run to the other side of the screen and start projectiling me, you're playing like trash because now you see how strong I am, right? You see how strong I am. So now you know that if you come over to me and try to fight me, you make a mistake, it's game over. So now you don't want to even take that risk. So now you're going to run to the other side of the screen and projectile and wait because you don't have enough understanding of your character to come apply pressure to open me up. And that is the whole thing. You know what I mean? I know how to apply pressure with Quan Chi to get somebody to open up. I know how to put you in a routine. I know how to put you in the washing machine. I'm gonna condition you to open you up. Okay, this ain't work. I'm gonna do this. This didn't work. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna tap that. And like this is how you become good with the character. And the perfect example of this is Sonic Fox. He is a mathematical machine when it comes to this game because he understands the frames. He understands what's negative. He understands your character. He understands his character. He doesn't have to back off you because he knows, like he can come beat you up because he understands both sides, right? So he can keep applying pressure. He knows the combos. He's not dropping anything. He knows the most optimal combos. He knows how to transition, right? So, like, and this is what makes him such a good player. This is what makes him a tournament champion because he takes the time, he puts the time in with all the characters, and like I've seen him in tournaments with difficult characters, not just easy spam characters. Like I seen him play Joker against Centurion in a tournament. Now in Joker, you got to be up close on Joker. Joker don't really have too many projectiles except Pepsi Poo Poo and MK11, and he was playing against Centurion, right? Centurion is spamming you to death with every projectile she got. And I watched this man literally patiently get up close and beat this dude to death with Centurion in a tournament with Joker. Like, come on. Like, come on. Come on. That's skill. That is skill, bro. In a tournament with Joker against Centurion? Come on, man. Like, so like, that's the stuff I respect. Like, and I hope people like watch this video and understand that it's about how you're playing the game. It is not about wins and losses because they do not matter from a casual standpoint. It's about how you're playing the game. People want to watch me play because of the way I play the game. It has nothing to do with anything else. Because if I was sitting there just basically doing what everybody else was doing, then what would be the point of watching me? You can go watch somebody else. Like if I just wanted to sit back, open up a portal, and just keep doing projectiles, or like you can go watch somebody else do that. But no, people want to watch me because I'm coming over there beating you up with him. Like I'm touching you with him. I'm doing resets with him. I'm breaking out the cage with him. I'm showing people that Frost is the best teammate for him. There's nobody else because she complements all his normals. And she allows him to reset. So like every time you go into the cage, it's a 50-50. You gotta guess. You gotta guess, right? Um, like I said, like my history in gaming, like I started in Mortal Kombat 1, right? I started with the Atari with the built-in motorcycle. Then it was Nintendo. And then it was Sega Genesis, where we got Sonic and Mortal Kombat 1 from. And once I got Mortal Kombat 1, I was hooked. Because what was different about Mortal Kombat 1? These were depictions of real people. It wasn't like Street Fighter 2 where you had cartoons. Mortal Kombat 1 was a depiction of real people where you punched them and blood came out of them. What? You're a kid. You hit somebody, blood come out of them. You tearing out people's spines, and they might have like 4 or 5 rib cages when did the fatality. Like, but just the idea of that was just boom, it was mind blowing. Then Mortal Kombat 2, where they enhanced the pixels, where everything started to look more rounded, and you like it was just a whole different thing. Then Mortal Kombat 3, oh my goodness, the artwork, the grittiness, the deadliness of it. Like I actually played Sub Zero, and that Sub Zero looked just so cool with the huge red mark on his face with the mask off, like his combo, boom, boom with the elbows. Like Cabal looked real good. Cabal kind of looked like the Cabal uh, in MK11 a little bit, but Cabal looked real good. Like I played Cabal in there, like his combo was crazy with the Sky Fan and boom, boom, boom. Like MK3 Ultimate was one of the best Mortal Kombat games in the arcade that had ever existed. It was beautiful. You had stage transitions in Mortal Kombat. You can knock them up from the subway. Like it was just a beautiful game. Like and though that was the essence of Mortal Kombat. That's the essence of it. And it started to dwindle when they start trying to go into different areas that's not Mortal Kombat. 3D is not Mortal Kombat. When you start adding all these different armored moves, and it's not Mortal Kombat. And when you definitely start putting in cameos, that is not Mortal Kombat. That is you trying to keep up with the genre. That is it. That is you trying to keep up with the genre. Why Tekken does so well? Do you want to know why Tekken will always be the top fighting game no matter what? Because he's not Harada is not trying to keep up with the genre. He's keeping Tekken. He even gave back his characters the damage. He's gonna keep Tekken. He's not he might change a few things there, but the feel of it is still going to be Tekken. Point blank period. That's why it does so well, because he's not going to lose his audience to keep up for money, pretty much, right? Street Fighter made a lot of changes that destroyed the fan base. Street Fighter 5 was absolutely horrible, and then for you to decide to make it a PlayStation exclusive, wiped. Street Fighter 6, absolutely horrible. I played it. I don't care what nobody said. That game is horrible. You know what I mean? And when you can just hold parry and parry it's a horrible game. Like it is not Street Fighter anymore. It's something different. Who knows? But it's something different. And this right here, this is not Mortal Kombat. It doesn't feel like Mortal Kombat. It's pretty, it's shiny, it's bright, it's not gritty. It doesn't feel dangerous, right? You got these pretty gardens that you can go fight in. You got a pretty living forest. Like you're doing with Queen. Like no, you can't, because we're still in Neverrealm. You're still in Neverrealm. You're still following the same storyline, just inverted. What? What? Liu Kang didn't fix anything. They're still the same people. They just inverted. Like he tried to change Shang Tsung, but down the line he becomes the original Shang Tsung like he was before. He tried to stop Quan Chi from being that, but then down the line we still have Quan Chi. So it's still the same storyline. Like you're not selling anything new. You're not giving anything new. So then why change the feel of the game if you're not giving anything new? But you want people to pay for it. So but other than that, this is why people are trash, regardless whether you winning or not. Because what you don't, and this is me getting fatality right here. That's sick. I never seen that. But regardless whether you winning or not, it doesn't matter. It's about your gameplay. It's about your individual gameplay. Your gameplay shows me how long you stayed in the training room with this character. Because when I start stopping your main ways of getting into a combo, then what do you do? How are you mixing me? Right? People do play good, and sometimes it's frustrating. Like you might get a reptile, that's just beating you to death. But I understand that that reptile most likely is Honeybee's reptile, is a copy and paste, because these pro players, they really pick apart the characters to really get that max damage. Average people, they don't do that because they're lazy, right? They're lazy. So they copy and paste the character. They just go look at Honeybee. They see what he's doing. They listen to whatever he says do, and then they come in and they do that. And then when you stop that, they don't know what to do. So that's how you can always tell. But yeah, man, like you still can be trash even though you're winning because it's the way you're playing the game. So if you consistently have to do only 2 or 3 moves over and over and over and over again, you most likely you're trash, right? If you got a character that you copy and pasted from a pro player, most likely you're trash, regardless if you're winning or not. It doesn't matter, right? If you can only play with the top tier characters, Smoke, Johnny Cage, Melina, Sindel, Ashura, dang, most of them are top tier. Baraka, like Rain. If you can only play with these characters for the most part, you're trash. Like I'm just saying, because they're toolkits. It's their toolkits that they have that makes them so easy to use, right? And you're abusing that toolkit, right? So, and then you don't want to give the other player credit that he's playing with a character that's already handicapped against your character. Like you can't do that. That you have to give that person credit. Like when I play against a Reiko, I always give that person that's playing Reiko credit, because even though they probably gonna spam projectiles on me, still Reiko is still a hard character to play with because he's just straight bare bones. He's an honest character. Like he's straight bare bones. He don't have a tick grab. He's a grappler. He has to be close to you. I mean, you could throw projectiles, but you can end up getting yourself punished, especially against Quan Chi, because I could just jump in on you. So I have to give a Reiko player credit, regardless whether I beat him up or not. I still got to give him credit because he's playing Reiko, right? He's different. Same way with Havoc. I still got to give a Havoc player credit. But what a Havoc player is going to do is they're going to put like a cameo with him to try to spruce him up, right? So I mean, this is just being a decent person. Like I never take away from a person. Like regardless of whether I'm winning or losing, I'm gonna give you credit where credit is due. So like I'm fighting this Shang Tsung. Most of the Shang Tsung trying to do, he tried to just hit me with the projectiles. Like especially when I started going in on him. Look, he kept jumping, right? So I started punishing the jump. Then it started to be like a projectile game. And this is just what you're going to get. Look, he jumps again. I punishes him. And with me, if I punch you twice on something and you keep doing it, like I'm just, I gotta, some things are done by habit. Like I jump in when I get the jab. Some things are done by habit, but eventually I stop jumping in and I figure out a different way to come at you because I don't want to keep getting full combo punished on the jumping. But if you're going to keep jumping in after you know that I'm full combo punishing you, even when I tell you like, hey, listen, man, you keep jumping in, I'm full combo punishing you, and you still do it, I can't fight you serious no more. Yeah, I can't fight you serious. So but yeah, man, that's my reasons on why people are trash, even though they're winning. Like because it absolutely doesn't matter. Your wins mean nothing. And I tell people all the time, I have over 3,000 games played. I got 1,400 something wins. I got 15 something losses. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, right? I got 15 something losses, but I beat people almost 1,400 games. So, like, come on. And I played 3 characters. So between 3 characters, I have like 100 loss differential. So, that's 75 losses with each character, out of my 1,400 wins with 3 characters. So, hmm, you do the math. you do the math, right? But man, listen to this. Let me know what y'all think, you know. And I'm gonna let the fight in the back rock some more. But thank you for tuning in.